Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another video here on the SSA Philosophy channel, where we dive right on into the philosophy of characters, from video games to TV shows to movies, etc., etc. So, of course, in today's video, we're going to go over the philosophy of the character, of course, known as Heather. So, of course, without any further ado, as always, let's get started. So Heather, the conniving contestant from Total Drama. Now she isn't overall like say isn't like your average reality TV participant. Basically, she's not there for the summer camp experience, but most like like the camaraderie or really even the $1 million prize. Thing about Heather is that she craves victory, and and really and yeah, really she will manipulate, like manipulate, scheme and even strategize her way to the top. Earning her like say nicknames, like say as the Queen of Mean and the Heather, so to speak. But the thing is though is that Heather really she's more than just a one note villain, because throughout her appearances, like in Total Drama Island, Action, World Tour, All Stars, and even in cameos and others, really she undergoes a very complex evolution, showcasing surprising depths and vulnerabilities beneath her sharp exterior. So initially introduced in Total Drama Island, Heather arrives on Camp Wawanakwa, with a clear goal, and that one clear goal is to win. Beautiful, cunning, and utterly ruthless, she quickly establishes herself as a force to be reckoned with. So really, she uses her cunning to form alliances, often disposable ones, and isn't afraid to throw her teammates under the bus neither. And really throwing her teammates under the bus, really, she'll do that, if it really serves her purposes. And Heather's manipulative tactics, and sharp tongue, they really make her a constant, like, say, source of drama and tension. Yet, really, there is a brilliance, like, like this certain undeniable brilliance, to her strategic gameplay. Because the thing about Heather is that some people may some people may say that her strategy, and her like say her strategy when it comes to how she plays the game may not be like the smartest or might not be the best route to take. But the thing about Heather is she understands the dynamics, of the competition, and she uses them, to her advantage. Which is a quality that keeps her in the game, for a surprisingly long time. And really, as the series progresses, we do see glimpses of a different Heather. Because in Total Drama Action, a hint of insecurity emerges as she grapples with aging and the pressures of staying relevant. And World Tour, really it throws another curveball because here, Heather pretty much sheds her initial villainous persona, and really she adopts a more like say strategic alliance based approach because really she even forms like she forms unlikely yet surprisingly like surprisingly effective partnership, like with Alejandro, which is another like say cunning player, like another player overall that is in Total Drama also, which of course I will do a video also as well too, as the series and pretty much as the channel goes on, but really another player overall who is also cunning, just as Heather as well too. And really, what this does is this really shift. Like this shift showcases Heather's, her adaptability and her willingness to change tactics, when necessary. However, though, Heather's core personality really it never strays too far because her ruthlessness and self-serving nature, really they resurface, throughout the series, particularly in All Stars, where really she reverts to some of her old like say manipulative tricks, this like back and forth between being like say like really a strategic mastermind and a cutthroat villain really is part of what makes Heather such a very compelling character because the thing about Heather is she's not purely evil, but really she's a very complex individual, driven by ambition and a deep-seated desire to win. So really Heather's journey in Total Drama, really it is one of competition, manipulation, and unexpected growth. So really, whether you love or whether you loathe her, she does. I mean, but the thing is, she does of course remains as a central figure in the franchise, which really is a testament, to her strategic prowess and undeniable entertainment value. So whether she's forging alliances or orchestrating schemes or delivering scathing one-liners, the thing about Heather is she keeps viewers on the edge of their seats, forever wondering what the Queen of Mean will do next. So really, with all the brief introductions out the way for the character known as Heather, we're going to go on ahead, of course, and dive right into her philosophy. And this is what I like to call the Machiavellian Minx, a philosophy of Heather from Total Drama. So really, Heather, like she transcends the archetype of the villain, really embodying a philosophy as ruthless and strategic as her signature smirk. So here we delve into the mind of the drama queen, exploring the principles that actually guide her quest for victory. So the first one we're going to focus on, of course, is the most obvious one, of course, and that, of course, is power through manipulation. Now, Heather understands, she understands the power dynamics of the game, that alliances are tools, not friendships. She manipulates other people, playing on their insecurities and their desires to further her own agenda. And like a puppeteer, she pulls the strings, orchestrating the elimination of threats with a calculated charm and a well timed betrayal. So really, this is like so. Yeah, really, this is a manifesto. For the cunning. The strategic. The one who craves control. So really, a glimpse into the philosophy of Heather. The total drama. Really, really, the total drama queen herself. And really, in this cutthroat world of competition, weakness is a liability. So really, in this case, here are like a few principles. A part of this philosophy, though, pretty much a part of this part of this philosophy, really that unveil the art of wielding manipulation, to secure ultimate power. So those principles. So the first principle is that alliances are temporary weapons. So the thing about this is that fools form genuine bonds. The savvy manipulator cultivates alliances as tools. Befriend the strong, exploit the weak. Use them as shields, pawns, or stepping stones. Whatever serves your ultimate victory. Remember, trust is a weakness that others will exploit. Pretty much project an aura of trustworthiness, but keep your true motive shrouded. And of course, the second principle is perception. Perception is power. Now, for Heather, image is everything. So in this case, craft a persona that inspires fear or blind trust, depending on the situation, and really feign weakness when it strengthens your position. Fabricate sob stories to garner sympathy, and useful for really useful, like say for manipulating the naive. And remember, how others perceive you is a weapon that you can control. And the third principle is that information is currency. Now, the thing is, for Heather, knowledge is power. So in this case, gather information on your competition, their strengths, their weaknesses, their deepest desires. So really use this intel to sow discord, to exploit vulnerabilities, and ultimately orchestrate their downfall. So really don't be afraid to play both sides for maximum advantage. And of course, the fourth principle is chaos is a ladder. So for Heather, Heather is always like the kind of character that, throughout the series and Total Drama, she loves to stir the pot. Like she loves to stir it up a lot. So in this case, plant seeds of doubt, ignite rivalries between others. Let them weaken each other while you conserve your strength. And remember, a house divided is a house easily conquered. And also the fifth principle really of this tenet right here is really the ends justify the means. So really for Heather, really there is a fine line between manipulation and cruelty. So cross it if necessary. Blackmail, sabotage, and well-timed betrayals are all tools in your arsenal. And remember, victory demands sacrifice. And sometimes the biggest sacrifice is your conscience. So really in this case, really, and so yeah, so really this is the path to power, the Heather way. And really it's a ruthless game. But the prize, the ultimate victory is worth it. So remember, to manipulate is to win. And also another like tenet we want to focus on of Heather's philosophy is that self-preservation is paramount. So Heather, she prioritizes her own well-being above all else, because while other people are swayed by the sentimentality, or blinded by naivete, Heather overall remains focused on the $1 million prize. Because this self-interest, however though cutthroat, allows her to navigate the treacherous waters of reality TV, making her a formidable force. Now, Heather's philosophy, really this part, revolves around the concept that individuals are ultimately responsible for their own well being. Trust is a weakness, and alliances are mere tools to be manipulated for personal gain. So, Heather believes in strategic coldness, calculating every move to ensure her own survival in the game. And really, this translates, to like say, really it translates, to like, really to these things, to ruthlessness, to self reliance, and adaptability. So when it comes to ruthlessness, Heather prioritizes winning at all costs. She throws challenges, she forms alliances only to betray them later, and uses manipulation to her advantage. And then when it comes to self-reliance, Heather doesn't depend on others because she builds her own path to victory, relying on her cunning and strategic prowess to win. And also, when it comes down to adaptability, Heather is a master of reading situations and changing tactics as needed. So, really, she forms alliances when convenient and discards them when necessary. So really the thing about this is that, there are some merits of her philosophy. And really those merits are the fact that, it has its advantages because her self-reliance makes her a formidable competitor and her strategic mind allows her to navigate the complexities of the game. So additionally, her focus on self-preservation ensures she never gets caught off guard. And really in the cutthroat environments like total drama, this philosophy can be a recipe for success. Now, the shortcomings though when it comes to like the self-serving survival is however though really in this case it does has it does have its drawbacks because her constant manipulation it breeds distrust isolating her from genuine connections. Additionally, her focus on the short-term gain it can backfire in the long run as burning bridges can come back to haunt you. And Heather's she really her constant scheming really creates a stressful existence, and her lack of trust makes it difficult to form, meaningful bonds. So really, is Heather right? Is she right honestly in this case? The thing is that while her self-preservation, while it is important, relying solely on it though can be detrimental. And really, this part of her philosophy might be effective in winning a competition, but really, it's a poor recipe for navigating life in general because true success often comes from collaboration, trust, and fostering genuine connections. Perhaps the key lies in finding a balance. So really really her strategic mind and focus on self-preservation are valuable assets, but they should be coupled with the ability to build trust and collaborate when necessary. Thing about true victory is that true victory lies not only in surviving, but in thriving alongside others. So, and also another tenet we want to focus on in Heather's philosophy is image is a weapon. Now, Heather's vanity is really a strategic. So, yeah, really her vanity is a very strategic asset because she cultivates a perfect image, using her beauty and confidence to disarm and intimidate her opponents. And this carefully crafted persona, really, it allows her to gain trust, only to shatter it when it suits her needs. So Heather meticulously, she crafts an image of herself as strong, as beautiful, and untouchable. Because she dresses as like in these designer clothes, maintains a perfect tan, and delivers these cutting remarks to assert her dominance. You know, and this image really inspires fear and respect from weaker contestants, making them less, pretty much making them less likely to target her. And also, Heather, she understands that people perceive reality based on appearances, because she uses this to her advantage. Because she might feign kindness or weakness to manipulate others, then ruthlessly exploit their trust. And this allows her to form alliances and then, strategically dispose of them when convenient. So Hitler's sharp tongue and icy demeanor really they create a constant aura of intimidation because this discourages potential threats and keeps other people off balance. Because by appearing cold and calculating, she discourages emotional manipulation and keeps the competition focused on her outward persona rather than her true feelings. And really for Heather, vulnerability is weakness. She fears that revealing her true emotions or her insecurities will make her an easier target. So maintaining a flawless image protects her from emotional attacks and allows her to control how others perceive her. However, though, it does has really it has its weaknesses. And what exactly are those weaknesses? Well, let's go on ahead and I will show you. So really three things. Number one, limited alliances. Number two, the inability to adapt. And number three, the downfall of arrogance. Now, when it comes to limited alliances, now her constant manipulation, like I said before, it makes it hard to build, genuine trust because people see her as a threat, leading to temporary alliances that crumble, really that ultimately crumble. And then when it comes down to like, the inability to adapt, Heather's rigid, like say, focus on image, it can blind her to genuine connections or unexpected challenges. And really an opponent who sees, through her facade can easily exploit her reliance on manipulation. And then Heather's unwavering belief in her own superiority can lead to underestimating her competition because a well planned surprise attack from a seemingly weak opponent can expose the cracks in her carefully crafted image. But overall, though, this part of her philosophy, when it comes to using image as a weapon, now it is a strong survival strategy in, total drama's cutthroat environment. However, though, its effectiveness relies on maintaining the illusion of perfection, and a single misstep or even a genuine connection can bring her entire strategy crashing down. And also, another thing we want to focus on is really embrace the hatred. Embrace the hatred, y'all. Well, I mean, like, don't embrace the hatred. I mean, literally, but but basically, to kind of go into this, to get, to explain, the thing about Heather is, like, she thrives, on the disdain of others. The negative emotions, yeah, really the negative emotions. Like their negative emotions fill her determination because she uses their underestimation as a weapon, proving them wrong with every challenge that she conquers. And really, that's the thing because Heather, like, she sees life as a constant struggle for dominance because everyone is out for themselves and only the strongest, most ruthless survive. And for her, morality is for suckers. And Heather, like, she channels her loathing for others into motivation because she uses their weaknesses and insecurities as weapons. And really, their hatred fuels her fire. And then winning. Now, winning for Heather, like, I mean, now, see, winning for Heather, it means everything. Like, really, I mean, really, it's everything to her. It's everything because she isn't afraid to step on people's toes, to lie, to cheat, and manipulate to get ahead. And so, yeah, really, for her, compassion and empathy are weaknesses that cloud judgment. And then Heather, like, she understands. She understands that image is crucial. So really, she cultivates a persona of icy confidence masking her insecurities. And this facade keeps other people, pretty much it keeps others off balance and it strengthens her position. So really, Heather, like this case, like this part of her philosophy, really it is undeniably cutthroat. I mean, it thrives on negativity and manipulation. However, though, it can't be denied that it is effective because Heather has reached the finals of multiple seasons. I mean, really, Heather, honestly, I mean, she has reached, like getting like say to like the finals and even like getting to mergers like multiple times, and like in a lot of seasons, like in Toriyama Island, she actually did make it far in that season, and then World Tour, she made it far to the point where she actually made it to the final two, and actually win. Depending on which version overall it is, the American version or the Canadian version, of course, whichever version that you believe is canon. But overall, your opinion is your opinion, and and then and really even in All Stars, I mean, really, I mean, even like in All Stars, even though like even in All Stars, she actually did make it pretty far in that season as well too. Despite maybe how maybe like not so great of a season it was, but still, Heather, I mean, she's reached the finals. She's reached like say to that point, multiple times. Which really honestly is a testament, to her cunning and ruthlessness. But the question though is it a good philosophy though? That's a question. And I'll leave that for you guys to answer. Is it a good philosophy? But the thing is, though, honestly, is that really, I would say that pretty much depends on your goals because now Hitler's philosophy, like it might get you to the top, yes, but it likely comes at a cost because really it isolates you and it burns bridges and really leaves you constantly looking over your shoulder because true happiness and connection are probably out of reach. So really, here are some alternative, like say, philosophies to consider. Like cooperation is key. You know, working together can be more successful than blind competition. A rising tide lifts all boats. And compassion breeds strength. Empathy allows you to understand and motivate other people, building a stronger team. And then find your inner peace because inner calm allows you to think clearly and strategically, achieving your goals with less stress. So ultimately, though, really the choice is yours. Because will you embrace the hatred and fight your way to the top like Heather, or will you forge a different path, pretty much? Will you forge a different path? And also another thing we want to focus on is that winning. Yeah, winning isn't pretty. It's not pretty. Now Heather's methods really they're far from noble because, like I said, she lies, she cheats, and she throws others under the bus with a ruthless efficiency. But within this moral and really within this moral ambiguity, it lies a truth. Sometimes winning demands getting your hands dirty. So yeah, so really Heather, like she prioritizes victory above all else because she believes that kindness and sportsmanship are weaknesses to exploit. Alliances are tools, and manipulation is a key weapon. So lies, betrayals, and even sabotage become acceptable tactics on her path to the $1 million prize. So Heather, like she sees emotions and morals as roadblocks because she readily throws teammates under the bus if it strengthens her. Really, really, if it strengthens her position, and then short-term social blows, are a small price to pay for, small price to pay for long-term dominance. And yeah, and this philosophy really it often isolates her. Like it isolates her because she views it though. Like that's the thing because really the thing about this philosophy is that it often isolates her, but the thing is she views it as a necessary sacrifice. And then like really her, I would say that she actually revels. Like she actually likes, being the antagonist. Like she revels in it. Like she thrives at it. Like, she thrives on the fear and respect that she inspires. And this villainous persona, it really keeps other people off guard and allows her to control the narrative. Now, while some might see it as a weakness, Heather uses it to her advantage. And on top of that, she projects an aura of invincibility because she uses intimidation and calculated arrogance to mask any self doubt. And really, this facade makes her seem unstoppable, further increasing her chances of winning. However, though, it does have its drawbacks. And those drawbacks overall are these, which are alienation, unpredictability, and internal conflict. Now, when it comes to alienation, now her constant manipulation, it burns bridges because she struggles to form genuine connections, making it difficult to rely on others when needed. And then when it comes to unpredictability, because like I said, because she focuses on the short term gains, but those sometimes those short term gains they can backfire. And burning too many bridges can leave her with no allies in a crucial moment. And really when it comes down, to the internal conflict. Now Heather, like, deep down, she might crave acceptance. And her constant scheming, it could stem from a fear of losing or not being good enough without manipulation. So overall, her winning isn't pretty part. Like this part of her philosophy really is it really is fascinating. Like it's a fascinating exploration of ambition and its consequences. Now, while it does bring her success, it does come at a cost though, because whether you admire her ruthlessness, or find it off-putting, she does remain a very compelling character who really pushes the boundaries of reality TV competition. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, that is of course the conclusion overall of this video here today. But overall, Heather's philosophy, it may not be one to aspire to, but it is undeniable because she is a master manipulator, a survivor who understands the complexities of human nature and reality TV. Now, whether you love her or you hate her, which by the way, I do love Heather. I do love her character a lot in Total Drama. I used to hate her character when I was a young little kid back then when I watched this show the first time. But the older that I gotten, I really love her character a lot, honestly, over the years. And honestly, she is, definitely in my top five when it comes to like favorite characters of all time in Total Drama. But the thing is, though, is that whether you love her, whether you hate her, she is a force to be reckoned with. A testament to the fact that sometimes the villains are the most fascinating characters of all. And and that's the thing because like throughout the first season in Tojama Island, like she embodies the mean girl stereotype. She schemes, she bullies, and betrays to get ahead, forming alliances only to discard them when convenient. And really, her ruthlessness extends to her appearance, obsessed with maintaining her beauty, and she even throws a tantrum when her hair is shaved off. You know, and her constant antagonism makes her also like say a compelling villain. Someone that you just love to hate. Like you love to hate a character like Heather. However, though, in later seasons, we're introduced to a more like say nuanced Heather. You know, because while the competitive fire never truly dies within her, the glimpses of vulnerability emerge because really, she shows a surprising loyalty to Alejandro on Total Drama World Tour, and even when it works against her own interest. And I think this season, World Tour, I think this season overall also hints at a past insecurity with a deleted scene suggested, pretty much suggesting that she may have, once been overweight. And these moments actually challenge the one dimensional villain portrayal and invite sympathy, for that character, for her, and honestly, her growth, I would say, is also most evident in Tojama All Stars because while she is still manipulative, she does display a newfound strategic brilliance. Because she forms genuine bond, like genuine alliances, though even though they are temporary, and even takes, the thing is, she does form genuine, even though they are temporary alliances, and even takes like a leadership role in the challenges. So really, Heather, like she shows a capacity, for selflessness, though not without expecting something in return. And I think this season, for as honestly, for as not really like say as good of a season All Star was, I do believe this season, marks a turning point, showcasing her evolution from antagonist, to a cunning, if morally ambiguous player. So really, Heather's legacy in Total Drama is absolutely undeniable because she is one of really she's one of the most really she's one of the like say the franchise's most recognizable characters. Her catchphrases and schemes forever ingrained in fan memory, really in fan memory. And more importantly, like she transcends the mean girl archetype, because her journey throughout the series is a testament, to the show's ability to, to develop characters, revealing complexities beneath the surface. So whether it's being admired for her strategic prowess or disliked for her manipulative tactic, like pretty much her manipulative tactics, the thing is that Heather remains a captivating character who continues to spark debate and discussion among Total Drama fans. And that is, of course, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of this video here today. And if, of course, if you watch this video all the way through and through, I want to thank you. And honestly, I want to thank you guys. I want to thank you very, very much if you have, of course. So, of course, don't forget to like, to comment, and subscribe for more explorations into the minds of your favorite characters on the channel. And also to hit the notification bell to stay updated on my latest videos as well, too. And with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. That is the end here today. So once again, I thank you, and I hope you all have a wonderful, blissful, and beautiful day. And always remember to always be smooth, to always be steady, and to always be aggressive. Peace.